Hello, peeps. I am Tidbit. Me and my figures are girls, and today's showcase is of Studio Series 86 Mixmaster, a piece of Devastator. And Hook is generally like my favorite, and Mixmaster is generally my second favorite. I love the cement truck and what they eventually turn into. I really like the vibes. Just the idea of this chemical master working on different things. And we can just take off the very obvious gun here. But I like to have it as like a little top bar. Because, since this is a piece of Devastator, we're not actually going to go into robot mode first. We're going to go into combine mode. So, let's get started with that. The first thing you are going to want to do is just take the front of the cab, disconnect, and rotate it kind of down. So you can just swing it up and over till it all clicks in these new peg spots on the side, like so. Next, you want to come to the front underside and pull these two tabs down farther than where they'll end up, because you're taking these flaps and pulling them down as well and clicking them in, because there's a tiny little notch here that you move up, and now it cannot move. And then we'll just disconnect these side parts here from this peg spot to this hole on both sides. And then for preparation, you just open the top of the mixing drum, and then you'll eventually be able to slide this from the back, close this up, and boom, you have the left foot of Devastator with ankle tilt. Ain't that pretty? Giant mixing drum knee pad. I really like this. It's a very solid foot. And since I have the foot, you know that I've been able to build Devastator, and it has been amazing. But enough about future videos. Let's get back to today's video and transform this back to vehicle mode so we can get on like nothing ever happened. And in both modes, have you been able to see the robot? I mean, other than the hands. Not really. And that's what this Devastator is really, really good at doing. None of the parts look like they're a ton of robots strapped together. It looks like there are a ton of vehicles and construction equipment strapped together. So, we're back to vehicle mode. Everything looks about right. So, let's transform her. First, what we are going to want to do is disconnect these from the spots like in the combine mode. Next, we are going to move these flaps, but take this flap and move it as far as you can. Take these flaps, put them down. Then, once you have it like that, you'll be able to just disconnect this whole assembly. It's very complicated because you're plugging into these spots here with these pegs. And you're going to want the configuration like this before you even try to go like that. So you'll want it like these, and you'll want to pre-bend these limbs, because the standard position is here in robot mode. Close up these side panels, and then split the legs, slightly tilt out the feet, and we are nearly done. All we need to do is just simply open up this flap to reveal the face early, then just disconnect the arms, and they connect in a spot back here, as you can see. There's a tiny little tab. And so, be mindful when you're moving it out and down to not rip that off. And then you can fully put down the chest plates, and then you can, depending on which mode you want, you can have this out, or you can open this up, spin this around, and then close it back up for just no more spout there. And boom. Here we have Mixmaster, who you cannot see their face because they have a giant hat. But we can do the close-up camera lighting here, so you can see that there. And even, like, here's the back side. And it's just, I really like this. I also love the unique idea to put, like, the cab facing backwards on the legs. Normally you'd have it like facing forward for most Transformers of just like, look, I'm a vehicle. But this one, very interesting. All the like vehicleness is on the back side. And they've got all this different articulation. And here's what she looks like with the blaster, which is very snug. I can't tell if her hands are just small or the gun has a very thick handle. But looks like that. Very no nonsense with how everything is proportioned. But we're not over yet. In these videos, I like to do a fan mode. So let's get on with that. We will not need the blaster. What we are going to do first is we are going to take the arms, put them back up as if it was vehicle mode. Put them up, make sure everything's connected, then close this back up. And then next, we're going to take this flap here. It's best to try and push it from this point. And then we're also going to open up the panel here. I find it's easiest to do it with the ankle tilt fully engaged. Put that there so we can squeeze this panel just past, like so. And then fold this all the way down, and then disconnect the front of the cab. But then on this side, just need to open up the panel and put these bits like so. And then we just rotate at the thigh. But depending on which side it is not the same, because you want to be facing this way with this one, this way with this side, and yep, that's it. This is Hermit Crab. And you can have an alternate look by just getting really vehicle with it and putting the spout back out. But boom, it's a little crab. This is like the little head, and it's got little legs here, and it's got two different types of claws if you want. You can have these really big ones on both sides, or you can have these really small ones on both sides. Or you can do like what I have configured here of a very versatile crab. You've got one big claw to smash shells, and you got the tiny claw to pincer things. And then it's just got this fun little feature. If you move the arms / legs back up, it still rolls. And so it's just like, I'm gonna get you. And so Mixmaster has drank the potion to evolve to crab. So thank you for watching. Like the video, comment your thoughts, share it around, check out the playlist for previous showcases, and subscribe to be notified when new ones come out. Bye-bye!